evening, everyone. Welcome to Everything Horror Podcast. And as you can see, it's not your normal host tonight. It's the Lady of Dark, the Mommy Milker Supreme, Chrystello, and I will be your host for this episode of Sleepaway Camp. I'm joined by the lovely two married couple with the babies.
Dulski.
Tessa Baker.
And also a special guest.
The equally lovely Dustin.
AKA the Cannibal Kiddo. So watch your doors, everybody. Do not accept any burgers or french fries or any type of hot dog from this kid.
Hey, my friend told me today that they had a stuffed person meat and cheese pizza, and I was like, I'm not sure what a 3 stuffed person meat cheese pizza is, but you let me know how people taste. I heard we taste like pork or chicken. They meant to say personal, but you know. Alright, so Sleepaway Camp. This is by far one of my favorite cult classic films. Now, I don't care about the rest of them. We could talk about them, but the one that means the most to me is the first one. That's the only one that's important. Like every movie that has extra, sequels and all that, they never hold up to the first one. But Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp was a movie that came out in 1983. It's an American slasher film written and directed by Robert Hiltzik. Excuse me. The Pillar Man from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures texting me. It tells a story of a young girl who is sent to a summer camp that becomes the site of a series of murders shortly after arrival. It has Felicia Rose, which is Angela in the film. Super cool lady I've heard. She always likes to meet and talk to her fans. So, what were your guys' first thoughts when y'all watched Sleepaway Camp?
So who's first?
Go ahead, Tessa.
I'm just gonna say, first time seeing that film, oh boy. There's one part of that film that I will officially never be able to unsee for the rest of my existence. I'm not even remotely joking. There's one particular scene of this movie that is burned into my brain for the rest of my life. I will never forget it.
You're talking about the kill from the shower scene, right?
No. No, I'm talking about Angela's dirty little secret revealing.
A dirty little secret? What do you mean a dirty little secret? She's just an innocent young girl going to summer camp getting picked on and bullied.
Innocent? Hell no. Girl?
That's the questionable part.
I mean,
Poor Paul. Every film I've ever watched, Paul meets his end. It doesn't matter who it is. Every freaking Paul in every freaking movie just... No offense, babe.
You might want to change your name, Paul.
Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, not to go off topic for a minute, but I mean, it just would make the perfect joke into this, really, is if everybody remembered the Family Guy episode when the two animals are like on the ark, or Nordic ark or whatever, and they're like, God or whatever is like, who, what's that? It's like, oh, that's our son, Paul. Well, he needs to go the fuck overboard. It was like an elephant and something else mixed together, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember it now.
Yeah, yeah. I always keep remembering that. But I guess the only reason why I remember that so much is because my friend who watched it with me would always go, "Look at that, Paul, you would get the fuck overboard." And I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. But yeah, and then afterwards, it's like every horror movie had the Paul in it, and it's just not always good outcome for me. I'm
gonna find a horror movie with a happy ending for a Paul then.
Well, there is the alien movie named Paul, but we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
But
So,
as for my opinion for this film is very interesting, especially for an '80s horror slasher, if I may say. But that ending is definitely just probably the bits and bones of the whole thing. Because once you just get to that finale, that's it. Even throughout the entire credit, you just see that face.
Mention how happy it makes Paul and how much of a kick Paul gets out of watching me react to it every freaking time we see it, because it never changes. My reaction never changes every single time I see it.
me and
I
Chloe
can
make a
definitely
meme
vouch
out of
for
it. We look at each other and make the face. Like, we'll go in each other's room and just make the face at the end of each other and hiss.
that. That's hilarious.
So what do you think about it, Dustin? What's your opinion on the first Sleepaway Camp?
So the first Sleepaway Camp, this was the movie that changed my whole outlook, how I viewed movies.
I bet it did.
Well, this is the movie that made me love movies. It made me look into I liked movies before, but this one was the one that made me really get into the behind the scenes and the making of and the whole process that went into the casting and the financing. This is the movie that made me fall in love with everything that went into making movies.
Not Halloween, not Nightmare on Elm Street, not Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp.
It was Sleepaway Camp. I was I think probably 14 or 15 the first time I saw that movie, and like I said, I had lots of favorite movies, but that was the movie that changed how I looked at movies.
I mean, for me, Sleepaway Camp, the first one has one of the most iconic killing scenes, and that's when the killer, we're not going to say who the killer is yet, but the killer kills old Judy with the curling iron in her hoo-ha. I mean, that was iconic. I'm like, who would have thought to kill somebody by putting a hot curling iron in someone's cooch? That's cinematic masterpiece right there.
Yeah, and smothering her. She died of shock, probably.
Most likely.
We never got confirmed if she actually died. There's a couple deaths in the first one with Arnie. We never found out if Arnie actually died.
I actually looked it up. I actually, not to interrupt you, but I actually looked it up and looked up the dead list for Sleepaway Camp, and Judy was confirmed as one of the kills, but the cook guy, the creepy pedophile cook guy in the beginning, wasn't confirmed as a kill, just an injury.
Artie deserved to die, though, man. Like, when he got that big, look, who
that guy
owns
is fucking
big
creep.
Right. But can I mention how big that fucking pot is that they're boiling corn in? Like,
Massive.
where do you get that big, massive pot to cook corn?
That's
It's
what
big
Tessa
enough.
said too.
It's big enough to hold a body. Big enough to cook a body.
Or a sack of corn.
More than a sack of corn, a fucking truckload.
That's a whole crop right there you can put in that pot.
Oh, and one more thing to add to the hissing tidbit at the end. It doesn't sound like a hiss. It sounds like a fucking angry chihuahua or some shit.
I love
Sounds
it.
like a really pissed off, angry chihuahua. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I hear that fucking sound at the end. I'm sorry, I just had to add that in.
Can we also just add in the facial expression that he does too when the boiling hot water goes on him?
Like, he just, like, locked up, like, I would have been going for my face. This man just started to shrivel almost. I'm like, come on, man. You'd scream a lot more if you had that big old pot of water hit you. You'd probably go into shock. You probably would making no noise. But he deserved that. He deserved a hell of a lot more than what he got. I will say that.
And we get the 10-minute scene of him just screaming, and you got the skin bubbling off of him, off his cheeks, and it's great.
I mean, the practical effects in this film were for the time were pretty good. It's corny as shit, but it's still good. I mean, when the killer stabs old Meg in the shower through the shower wall, like through the drywall, whatever, and just yanks the knife all the way through her back. I'm like, come on, man. That whoever this is has got some meat behind them arms. But I mean, you can kind of tell in the film, like when Arnie gets Artie's the cook. Artie gets the chair pulled. the hands are kind of muscular.
Right.
So it kind of makes you wonder, right, who is the killer? I mean,
I always had the theory that it wasn't. I mean, are we in spoilers yet, or? I'm sure anybody listening to this podcast has already seen the movie. So.
I mean, I would hope so, right?
I mean, being from 1983, if you haven't not watched this movie yet, shame on you. You're about to get spoiled on a lot of things.
Right. So I always theorized that it was actually Peter killing everybody. That.
Oh, you thought it
Or
was
not
Peter?
Not Peter. Jonathan Tierce, Ricky.
Oh yeah, her cousin.
Yeah, I always thought it was Ricky that was killing everybody. So.
Yeah, and Mel thought it was Ricky too. He was accusing him throughout the whole freaking movie.
Yeah, he says, "I seen ya," but like, especially once you watch the Blu-ray. Like, I grew up watching the shitty version of this, so you can't see a lot of the scenes with the killer. But once they made that Blu-ray transfer, you can clearly see it's Jonathan Tiersten standing there. In the scene where Judy gets fucking hoo-ha'd.
Like, I mean, if you look at the silhouette, it looks like a dude standing in the silhouette. I'm like, okay, that's a dude.
On the Blu-ray, it's fucking. You can see it's Jonathan Tiersten standing there in the wig.
Masterpiece. Oh,
but it's never. They never touch on it ever again. It's
no. I also like the cop's mustache in that movie.
Right. He had to go shave it off.
Yeah, that little slap-on stick mustache he had. I'm like, what happened to his mustache? The first one was realistic looking. That one looks like you got it from a 25-cent gumball machine. What happened? What happened to your mustache, my guy?
Yeah, so I'm guessing Robert Hiltzik filmed this like scene for scene, like from beginning to end. He didn't like shoot everybody's scenes at once. So the cop like left after he filmed the first part and shaved off his fucking mustache. So when he came back, they just put some construction paper on his lip.
That's what it looks like. It looks so bad. I'm like, whoa, you got some chocolate pudding up there, or what you got up there on that lip, my guy?
He had a big mustache ride.
I don't know what he was riding with that mustache, but I don't want no part of that. So what do y'all think about? Okay, so the beginning of the film, you got the dad and the two kids in the lake. You got the lifeguard and the kids on the boat. They run them over. Then you're introduced to Aunt Martha, and it shows the scene of where she's talking about their fitness records and how they have to keep hush hush, and she actually did them for them because she's supposedly a doctor. So, and if you watch the film, you know who Angela is and all that. Do you think that Aunt Martha, because she was like, we already have a little boy, we want a little girl. So do you think what she did to them was what caused them to go like the way they did, that route of having a fun time at camp?
Yeah.
Remember what Aunt Martha says at the beginning? What she says to Ricky: "Make sure you protect my little girl, Ricky."
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to my theory. So.
Well, you're right. It's true. And I mean, the thing is, Ricky never acknowledged Angela as a boy. It always was he treated her like a girl. So did Ricky not know that Angela was actually Peter this whole time?
I don't think that Ricky knew that Angela was Peter, because if you guys remember, in one of the flashbacks, the aunt was holding up a girl outfit, and like you said, Chrystello said, we already have a boy. We don't need another boy. I've always wanted a little girl. I've always wanted a daughter, and holding up this girly outfit. So what I think is when Ricky came home, Peter was already dressed up as Angela.
I think Ricky probably knew that Peter was Angela, because there's that one at the beginning of it where Peter's dad says they're going to see Aunt Martha, and he asks, "Is Ricky going to be there?" And Angela's already older than Peter at the beginning of it, so I'm assuming that Ricky they all knew each other.
Or maybe he's just too young to actually maybe remember, or he's been around Angela for so long that he just sees Angela as Angela and doesn't see them as Peter.
Yeah, That
Yeah,
too.
I think he does see it as Angela, but
I really do think. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Oh well, just for like basically like a remembering of a scene, but are we also talking about the scene where like during the flashback where it's Angela and the boy there like on the bed, Ricky on the bed
No,
as
that's
well?
Peter. That's
Oh, that was
Peter and
Peter.
Angela.
it's
Yeah.
Peter and
Peter
Angela.
and Angela. Okay, yeah. So
And Peter's pointing at Angela, and the viewpoint starts to shift to where Peter's sitting, it starts to turn into Angela because
right.
there's some fighting conflicts, and I guess their mind about who are they actually supposed to be.
I don't see. I don't know. I mean, I want to say I kind of want to agree with Dustin that he did know that Angela was Peter basically and whatever and stuff like that. But like I don't know. And then at the same time, it's like maybe not because just because of maybe how young they were that they could have forgotten. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, this film, despite the ending, it goes into a big. Like, I like it because it goes into a psychological kind of thing of like you've got this kid that was a boy that their aunt wanted him to be a girl, forced him to be a girl, present themselves as a girl. Then had the flashback when Paul was trying to, put the smooches on him, and she has that flashback of her and her brother seeing her dad in the bed with another man, which in 1983 that was super controversial. You didn't really see a lot of stuff about LGBT and all that in films, and how she freaks out and gets up and runs away. It's like she saw that and she didn't want that to be. I don't know if that was something like she didn't want that for her, because deep down they knew they were a boy, and it was the same thing that her dad was going through, or it just freaked her out. But there's a lot of psychological mind games that are being played with inside of Angela because of what they went through and what they having to be portrayed as. So I found that really interesting. I don't know if anyone else kind of picked up on it, but I thought that was a really interesting thing for a film of 83 standards to kind of bring up in a slasher film.
Yeah, I did pick up on that. Do we know who the little girl was that got run over by the speedboat with Peter's dad?
That was Angela.
That's what I thought.
That's
Yeah,
Angela.
so maybe maybe Angela and Peter, when they were like little or whatever, looked almost, I don't know, identical in a way. So maybe when Peter assumed like the persona of Angela, maybe that played into it somehow. I mean, I don't know. It's possible. I've seen it done in other movies with like kids that are almost basically twins in a way.
I mean, I do feel like I'm trying to think of all the other memorable kills in the film that were in there. I do feel bad for the kids that went on the camping trip that she
little
slaughtered.
bastards threw sand on her.
Well, that's true. That's true. They did throw
Oh,
sand on when she was drowning.
the ones that got hatcheted
Yeah.
in their sleeping bags.
My thing was how. Oh, go ahead.
That was an interesting take on a sleeping bag kill.
I just don't know how she got so everywhere so fast. She's almost at like that Jason Voorhees travel speed.
Almost like it was more than one person.
Right. It was like at one point you thought that it was Ricky and somebody else, or her and Ricky working together at a point in time, because you're like, how could she be everywhere? Here, these kids are sleeping in these sleeping bags, but then you show she's back somewhere else. I'm like, you got that Jason Voorhees travel or something? Can you just snap your fingers and teleport? Because you're moving awfully fast. Faster than I could through the woods.
Remember at one point when I was a kid, I used to think that Mozart could have killed a couple of these fuckers.
Yeah, because he did pull a knife out at one point. Yeah.
It's his knife that kills Meg.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
The only people that knew about that knife was, well, I guess everybody in that cabin, but mainly Ricky and Mozart.
Poor Mozart, man. Oh, that baby just wanted to take a nap, and they were fucking with him when he was trying to sleep. I don't blame him to pull on that knife. You wake me up out of my nap, I'm going to pull a knife on you too. You better leave me the hell alone.
Well, all the
Still.
pranking shit that they did to him, it's a wonder that he wasn't part of the killing, because they freaking like pretty much like fraternity pranked him with like having him like do a sit up into somebody's ass and then freaking shaving cream the poor kid while he was trying to sleep and this and that. And it's like if I were that kid, I would have snapped and just went off and just killed everybody.
He might be the killer in the second one. I don't know. Is he Dustin? Is he the killer in the second one?
No.
Or is the same girl?
Never mentioned again.
Oh, that's a shame. He should have came back and killed the campers in the second one. That'd been a great redemption arc.
Don't get me started on the sequels.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Even though there were some good kills in the sequel.
I do love the sequels. Not Return. Return sucks.
Which one is that one? 3?
Return. Robert Hiltzik, he hated the second and third one. That was made by Michael Simpson. And so he decided to make his own sequel directly after. It was supposed to skip the 2 and 3 and take place directly after 1. And it brought a lot of the same cast back. But that one's the fucking worst one out of all of them.
Is that the one where Angela's singing with the guitar?
No,
that's the
number 2.
That's the Pamela Springsteen, Angela.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen's little sister.
Okay, because I've seen snippets from YouTube of that one. I haven't watched it fully, but I was like, oh my god, how are you going to bring this girl back?
I have a theory about that one, and I'll just jump into it real quick. But I think that after Angela goes to the insane asylum at the end of the first one, this other person, who's actually a female, assumed the role of Angela for 2 and 3 and snuck out. That's why they look so different. That's my theory for 2 and 3.
Yeah, because that Angel in the second one has like short hair, doesn't she?
Yes.
It's like a pixie cut.
Supposedly for the second film, how they brought Angela back is that she was committed to a psych ward, and while she was in there, the doctor performed a sex change on her.
Yeah, like the complete sex change.
The complete sex change. So when Angela came out, Angela was no longer Peter. Angela was Angela.
Because that's how psych wards work.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Let me get your minor and a free sex change. Okay.
And our taxes paid for it. That's an actual line from the movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yikes.
I love that movie.
It's got its moments, I'll say that.
It's actually the first one I saw out of all of them. It was number 2.
Like, I watched Sleepaway Camp on, like, Joe Bob late night on TNT one night. He was doing his movies, and he did Sleepaway Camp, and that's the first one I saw, and that's when that was back in the 90s. I was a kid. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm watching, but it's all right.
All right. All I'm going to say about number 2 is that they do, like, puns towards Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and I think Leatherface in 2. They do, like, puns in a way.
Kind of like Easter eggs?
Yeah. Kind of, sort of. And there is one kill that's, like, really fucking nasty, but it's so good because you hate this bitch and this bitch deserves it. And it's, like, the best possible fucking kill for this stupid bitch. It's great. That's, like
talking
my
about
favorite.
The outhouse, right?
I'm talking about the outhouse. I'm talking about that fucking alley bitch.
Yeah.
So,
perfect.
Another funny thing, I told you I'm full of fun facts for this whole franchise, but another fun thing about Sleepaway Camp 2, they're all named after members of the Brat Pack. So Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, all that. So Allie, it's Allie Sheedy.
Oh, man.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
And the third one, they're all named after people from West Side Story. So.
Wow.
Wow.
Here's a fun fact. I don't know if y'all knew, but the helper that helps Artie in the kitchen, the cook, that is actually the voice actor for Darth Vader's dad.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
James Earl Jones Sr.
Yep, that's his daddy.
Damn.
I
did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I was watching something not a while back about it. I was like, oh, wow, that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, that's Darth Vader's dad.
That's awesome.
The little kid that plays Peter at the beginning of it. Anybody fans of the Jersey Shore?
Mm-mm.
That's Mike the Situation's brother.
Is it really?
That plays Peter. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The little kid, anyway.
Look, I got more props for his older little brother than I actually have for him, so good for him. I hated Jersey Shore.
I guess he stepped up in a big role on that end then.
He had to fill his brother's shoes and be on Jersey Shore. He's like, my brother was on TV on the movie. I got to be on a TV show.
Wait, you were in that movie though?
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with being a sleepaway camp.
No, there isn't. But I'm just saying, when you bring that up though, New Jersey Shores and then Sleepaway Camp, it's like, what a difference.
It's all filmed in the Jersey area.
Of course you are.
So, what was y'all's favorite kill from the first one? Because you had Judy with the iron, you had Artie with the boiled pot, you had Mel with the arrow through his throat, you had Paul with getting decapitated, and you had old boy with them short ass booty shorts on taking a dump in the bathroom, and he gets killed by the hornets.
Billy,
Taking
yeah,
a wicked dump.
Yeah, because you
I
had
thought take a wicked dump.
You had Meg in the shower, Paul being beheaded, Kenny being drowned under the capsized canoe. You had Judy getting it in the cooch with the curling iron and smothered with the pillow. You had the 4 random campers that got hatcheted in their sleeping bags. Billy with the beehive. And, Mel with the arrow. Sorry, I did my research earlier.
I'll go with the hair straightener one. I think that bitch had it coming for sure with all the.
The curling iron did the
Judy.
cooch.
Yeah, that
Judy.
one.
Yeah.
Judy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can all agree that the pedophile fuckwad got what he deserved anyway. So in this case, I would just go with Judy.
I think that the pedophile guy should have gotten more. He should have just died, but instead he ended up with severe fucking burns.
Yeah, you're right. He should have got the curling iron.
Yeah, he definitely should have gotten the curling iron.
I mean, Mel deserved more than what he got too, because when all the deaths started happening, Mel kept on covering up. Instead of just telling these kids to go home, he was so worried about the cops showing up. He was like, "Oh, we're just going to sweep this under the rug. It's just an accidental death." No, you jackass. Send these kids home. There is someone killing people here. Send them home. But no, he deserved, and him and Meg having their little and Nicole Smith relationship going on that they had.
Oh, speaking of getting sent home, that's almost like the sequel in a way where what's her, oh god, I forget what they call her now in the second one, but I know she's under a alias name, but it's like when huh?
She still goes by Angela in those.
Sorta, but she's still not.
No one ever puts the connection.
No, but okay, so but it's like when Angela sent that one camper sent, and I'm saying that with like quotation for everybody listening, is like she got sent home, and everybody's like, "Well, she's lucky that she got sent home." It's like, yeah, only if you knew, there, bitch.
She got sent to the farm, not to the home.
Yeah, far away.
She went to the happy farm where everything is nice and rainbows and sunshine. You don't want to go to that happy farm.
No.
That's where Batman's parents went.
And then when Angela picks up the guitar in the sequel, better run away as fast as you can because you don't want to hear that happy camper song.
It made me cringe when I watched that YouTube clip. I'm like, this.
2 and 3 are more like spoofs of horror movies than just like the first one's more of like a whodunit slasher, straightforward. 2 and 3 is more of a spoof of horror movies.
I guess when I watch, I have to see it like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was some part where Sleepaway Camp kind of reminded me of I want to say it was the first like Friday the 13th of the whole like who did it, who done it kind of thing. Just because all those weird little uh, shots throughout the first film, especially since it was being in first person and stuff like that. Like you didn't really know who was doing all the killings until the very end. Even though, like in this movie, there were some questionable shots as this almost looks manly, and then you get like the same thing happening in the first Friday the 13th, but then you find out it was Pamela, Jason's mother, that was doing it. It's like, well, then what the hell? Why did she look so manly? And in this case, it's like Angela. It's like, how the hell did she become so manly looking? And then all of a sudden, she's like, yeah, I'm just quiet.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch out for, though. The quiet ones are the ones that'll get you eventually.
Yeah, it is.
Case in point with Angela. But no, I really enjoyed the first one. I really did. Like so the second one and the sequels, I was just like, there's nothing can hold a flame to the first one. The first one just holds a special weird part of my heart. I don't know. I guess it's because that ending threw me for a loop, and it always will. Like I know it's coming, but I still am just like, and I can't help but laugh. I mean, I give props to the guy who was naked for that scene because it had to be really cold that night. God bless him. But it had to be cold on that set and that lake because But hey, we're not.
Got him drunk and gave him $100. Told him to put a mask on.
And that's about it. I mean, I'll get naked for $100 if I'm drunk and I have to wear a mask. No one's gonna know who I am. Let's go for it. $100 is $100. I ain't saying I'm cheap, but that's an easy gig. Yeah. And I'm immortalized forever in film. Don't know who I am, but I'm immortalized.
So, hey. if you look all the way in the background on that ending scene, you can see Felissa Rose changing her clothes all the way in the background, like below the heel. You can see her arms going up, taking her shirt off and stuff, like changing for that scene, while the college kid has Felissa Rose mask on.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go watch it and pause it and see if I can see that on camera because I never paid attention to that.
It's all the way in the back.
I'll have to see. Oh man, like I will say that one of my favorite characters is oh boy, that's the one of the counselors. He wears super tight red shorts. I mean, those shorts are almost like booty shorts, like underwear.
Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie. Ronnie's one of my favorite
in the background working out.
Yeah. That man right there, he was my favorite characters. The Fonz of the camp right there, them tight ass red shorts.
They get him back for the fourth movie.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, he reopens the camp.
Oh Lord, he should know better than that. Come on,
he's
now.
the only good part of that movie, the fourth movie.
I bet so. Does he wear them tight red shorts again?
He does not. He wears
jeans. That's a shame. He just ruined it for me. I mean, you left nothing to the imagination to my young eyes when I was a kid. Now you got pants on. You ruined it.
It's always ruined by something. I swear.
More clothes ruin it.
We just need the G-strings gone.
I will say that those are the shortest of the shorts that I've ever seen on a man in my entire life, and it's you cannot look away, no matter how much you try to. It's just like right there, like bam.
It's almost like David Bowie in The Labyrinth. I mean, you're not looking at the actor; you're looking at what is presented at you, and it's not the actor.
For the cod piece.
You're right.
And oh my, with David Bowie, don't even get me started.
Don't get me
Goblin
started.
King.
Don't get me started on that. Give me the vapors. I told you last time. Give me the vapors. Talking about David Bowie.
Oh no! It sounds like Chrystello and Tessa need to talk David Bowie for an episode.
That'd be a 2-hour long episode.
That's gonna be a long episode.
That's all right.
Ooh wee.
We could just go back and forth, bouncing off each other about David Bowie. Oh man.
All it's gonna be is the word David Bowie, and it's going, oh, Lord have mercy, for like 2 hours. That's gonna be an interesting podcast.
That will be an interesting.
No, because I haven't seen the other Sleepaways. If you guys want to talk about your favorite ones past the first one, you guys are more than welcome to. I will listen and let you guys talk about them because I know that Dustin loves them. So, and I don't know nothing really about them except for snippets I've seen on YouTube. So, if you guys want to talk about which one and order of your favorites or which ones you like the best, you guys go ahead.
Honestly, I'm not prepared for
I'm not prepared, but I will say that the porta potty kill of Allie, the camp slut, is like the best in number 2 because she gets stabbed in the back twice with a knife and then gets her ass shoved into a disgusting, filthy, putrid porta potty and gets shoved under with a stick and drowned in a fucking porta potty. It's like fucking brilliant.
Every time she comes back, she's got like a little bit more shit and piss on her, and then in the last one, she's got leeches on her
and leeches and shit. It's like it's like the perfect ending for this bitch. Okay,
from all the wife stuffing she had done.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. You go right ahead, Dustin. Your turn.
Okay.
I think I was gonna say, Dustin, this is all you. I still have yet to see 3 in Revenge. So
the sequels are weird. You got the Unhappy Campers is number 2. That was made by Michael Simpson. Teenage Wasteland was number 3, also Michael Simpson. They were filmed back to back, 88 and 89. They were filmed in the same weekend. They were released separate years. And then you got the 4th one, which was in 1990, I think, which was called Survivor. But they ran out of funds with it, and they were like, this movie fucking sucks, so they just stopped shooting it. But there is still about 20 minutes of footage of that, so that's pretty cool. And then in 2000s, Sleepaway Camp started to get popular again, so they came back for Return to Sleepaway Camp with Felissa Rose, Jonathan Tiersten, Paul D'Angelo, Robert Hiltzy back writing and directing it, and that movie fucking blows, as I said. And then they were discussing Sleepaway Camp Revenge, I think, which was going to have Drake Bell in it, which that fell through.
I'm glad it did.
And that's they had a comic. They had an online comic series, which Michael Simpson was like, well, if Robert Hiltzy can make his own Sleepaway Camp, then I'm going to make my own Sleepaway Camp sequel. So he came up with Sleepaway Camp Berserker, or Berserk, I can't remember what it was called, where Angela from 2 and 3 goes to death row and gets superpowers. Which, if I remember right, she gets superpowers from being electrocuted, but I found the comic recently, and it was changed to lethal injection. But it was supposed to be like full-on telekinesis, carry Angela. So, but it never got funded either.
So basically, the only decent Sleepaway Camp's the first one.
Oh, and I can't forget Son of Sleepaway Camp. So there was this movie called Memorial Day Massacre. It was this piece of shit movie that came out in 90s. Italian distribution company got a hold of it and was like, this movie fucking blows. How can we make money off of it? We'll call it Son of Sleepaway Camp and give it the soundtrack from the first Sleepaway Camp, and we'll sell it to idiots thinking it's a Sleepaway Camp sequel. It has nothing to do with Sleepaway Camp, but it is part of my collection because it says Sleepaway Camp. And that's the story of the Sleepaway Camp sequels.
I might be better off just staying with the first one then.
Well, aren't they doing like a Sleepaway Camp documentary or something like that? Like the Angela documentary?
I don't think it got funded.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Maybe it did, yeah. I don't know.
So
I didn't
can't
give
remember.
money to it.
I didn't.
How would you feel if they brought Sleepaway Camp back in today's generation and remade Sleepaway Camp? How would you feel about that? Would you be okay with it? So
we're talking like remaking it, right? Like if they were to remake it?
Yeah, like if they, how they do, like, brought back, they remade Nightmare on Elm Street, they brought back Jason. If they try to revamp the franchise and start off with the first one again, but for this generation, how would y'all feel about that? To me, if they did it right, it'd be okay.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, I'd be on board for a remake, but they would have to. They couldn't make it serious. They like to make these movies serious and give these deep backstories and stuff, and it's not needed for a Sleepaway Camp movie. So if they keep it cheesy and cornball and low budget, I'm there for it.
They also have to bring back Felissa Rose for something. She has to make a cameo somewhere in it. That's like my own stipulation. She has to, I don't care if she can be the camp owner or the head counselor,
She could be
but she
crazy
has to
Aunt
be.
Martha.
She can be crazy Aunt Martha. I mean, it'd be full circle, but she's got to be in there somewhere.
Something tells me she'd be a great crazy Aunt Martha.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So I would say, yeah, if they could do it right and had Felicia Rose in it or as a cameo, then yeah, I
They
would
also
say
have to
yes.
bring back red shorts.
Yeah,
Bring back
they would
Red
have to
Shorts.
bring back. They would have to bring back red shorts for Crystal because
That's right. Some buff hairy dudes and red tight shorts. Leave nothing to the imagination from me. I want that magic again.
They just got to keep Robert Hiltzik away from it. He did a great job in the first one, but he ruined it for me with that fourth one. So I can't have him touching Sleepaway Camp again.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot. Like happens a lot though. Like I mean, even with other films, with the original people come back to direct or produce it, they somehow, even though it's their love child, they still mess it up somehow.
They still fuck it up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, how? How can you do this to your own creation? How? But that's another topic for another day. So would you guys recommend this to some people if they've never seen Sleepaway Camp? Would you recommend if someone's like, hey, I want to watch a cheesy '80s horror film? Would you recommend Sleepaway Camp to them?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Because it's like Tessa will always say probably like just the fact of the first reaction that she ever got from it and the fact that it's burned forever in her mind, it just worth it really because it is quite clever back in the day. Like who really would have thought of that?
if you want to watch a film, an '80s campy horror film with shit in it that you cannot unsee forever, watch it. I promise you, you will never unsee the ending.
You can't see me by making that face at you.
Most memorable ending ever.
Stick with you.
Oh, it's definitely stuck with me ever since the first time I fucking watched it. Paul witnessed my first reaction to it, and he could not stop fucking laughing. He was like dying of laughter, and I was like, I see Felicia Rose in a totally different light now.
And she didn't and she I don't think so anyway, but as far as I know, I don't think Tessa or Satan's Playground yet either. So yeah,
Satan's
and that's
Playground?
another good one.
You've
Yeah,
never seen
Satan's Playground.
Playground? Oh man, you need to watch Satan's Playground.
No, I've seen it, but I don't think Tessa has.
You need to watch that, Tesla, if you have not seen Satan's Playground.
We have so many movies over here.
Or Teeth. Have you seen
crazy.
Teeth, Tessa?
I've seen Teeth, Crystal.
Okay,
I've definitely seen Teeth.
Good. Okay. Good.
I feel bad for every male on the planet that comes into contact with that girl.
Vagina dentina.
Well, that sounds like a future episode for Crystal and Tessa again.
That's going to be an interesting podcast. Oh, man.
That one will be.
Well, I think that's all my questions for you guys. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about it.
Is there anything in the film that you wish they could have done better?
Take out that 10-minute long baseball scene that had nothing to do with it.
10?
Yeah, well, however long that damn baseball scene
That shit was like 40 minutes.
That's half the movie. I was like, this baseball scene has nothing to do with what's going on. I wish they took that out. Or at least shortened it. I mean, yeah, it's nice seeing, hairy men in shorts throwing a ball around, but not the kids so much. But and then Artie really should have died. I really think that he should have died on camera. Other than that, there's no other complaint I have for that. To me, like I said, I've watched it as a youngin, and it's stuck with me into my 30s. So that says something. That says something to people when that movie sticks with you that long, and it's still one of my favorite campy horror films.
I'll let that go. Tessa, is there anything that you wish that could have been different at all?
The end scene.
How did I know you were going to say that?
I think that Artie should have been found upside down, submerged in that giant ass pot that could fold the body, and just would have been dead. Because, like, from the moment that I watched him and how he was looking at them kids like they were a snack or some shit, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker needs to die. And when they didn't kill him, and he just got severely fucking burned and probably maimed for the rest of his life, I'm like,
That doesn't fly.
I was disappointed. I'm like, this guy definitely should have died. And he didn't. And I was like, the end scene, however, do I wish it was changed? No. Has it most likely, I don't want to say scarred me for life? Debatable. But bravo to the director of that film, because, yeah, you definitely made a scene that's gonna stick with me for the rest of my fucking life.
And the best part about that scene is that they made that into like a fucking light switch thing, like a light switch cover.
They did.
Do they really? I need that. I need that for all the light switches in my house.
I will find you that light switch. But yes, they legitly made a light switch of that end scene.
Yeah, that's going into my bathroom. I don't care what Peyton says. That's going in my bathroom.
Yeah, boy. I forgot who had it, but yeah, it does exist. I have seen it. It's hilarious for sure. It really is. And I guess, Dustin, is there anything that we haven't said that you wish could have been changed or something?
The only thing I would change about the movie is it got slightly edited, not too bad, but a lot of those scenes aren't even on the DVDs. Like some of the kills are extended and everything, and they had to cut all that out from the ratings board to get the R rating.
Oh my god, I found it.
Yeah, me too.
So the kill scenes are actually longer.
Yeah, slightly. Like the scene where Kenny first comes out of the lake. It's like there's an extended scene of it where like there's more snakes coming out of his mouth, and it's got crabs and shit crawling out of his ears. They had to cut a lot of that down, and
that's disappointing.
I think Meg's scene was a little longer. I might be wrong about that. And the scene where the dude gets the beehive, it shows a little more in the original.
Yeah, honestly, that beehive scene I think was like the weakest one out of everything else. I just felt like it was just so I don't know. I can't think of the word right now, but like when you're shaking the nest, like I was expecting more. You know,
that was a real beehive too. It was a real beehive, real bees. They had to hire a bee wrangler and everything for that scene.
Okay, so just real quick for people listening, unfortunately, you ain't gonna be able to see it, but I will tell you right now, I will pop the link to buy it for sure, so that way you guys can see it and everything.
Which one did you find?
I found this one right here. So here is the light switch, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's on a site called forevermidnight.store. The link to this light switch will be in the description of this episode. But yeah, I just wanted to show.
Yep, that was the one that I found too.
That's amazing.
Yep. So
$10, Crystal. There you go.
Oh yeah, this is going in my bathroom. I guess
and for your 6 light switches there, Crystal, that you said, you can pay in the 4 interest-free installments since it's over $50. So
you can get a light switch for every room.
Oh man, that's tempting.
But I'm gonna show you. So here's the on switch, and then here's the off switch.
I will say that this is misleading. It's quite bigger on the light switch than it was in the film.
It's not as cold in your bathroom.
Well, that's true. I always keep the heater on, so I mean, nice and cozy.
But yeah, for everybody else listening, I will put the link in the episode description so you can buy your very own Android light switch. So then you can really play with the thing all the time, on and off. On that note, I think I've ran out of stuff to say. So,
Yeah,
because
because you're talking about playing with Angela's diddle stick now.
waka waka. Anyway, no, but what I was trying to say too is since everybody touched on the stuff that I would have liked to have been changed, at least a little bit more with like the beehive scene. I can't think of anything else really. Like this movie is unique in its own way, and also it had the cheesy moments as well, and it had the I wish there was a little bit more aspect in it, for sure.
So one thing that sucks about these movies now, which I don't remember if I talked about it in the last podcast or not, but every time they came out with a new Sleepaway Camp, on DVD, I would buy them. And every time I bought these DVDs, I would always lose them in some way. So I had the survival kit that had all of them in it. I let a friend borrow that. He joined the military. I lost that. I bought them all on Blu-ray a few years later for like $10 a piece, I think at like Best Buy or Walmart or something. And my dog ate all of the Blu-rays. And now if you want to buy those Blu-rays, they're like 180 something like that dollars a piece now. They're nearly $200 a piece now.
Holy
Except
shit.
the first one's only like $10, but for 2 and 3, they're like $200.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up now.
No, you can still get the survival kit, I think, for like under 100, maybe like $50, $60.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I think the VHSs
Sleepaway.
go for like hundreds of dollars too now.
Oh well, yeah, those are the originals. Those are like relics of old, so they're definitely gonna go for more.
Sleepaway Camp 2, $20.
For the Blu-ray?
Sleepaway Camp 3,
You can get the regular DVDs for cheap, but the Blu-rays are 180, I think.
For Sleepaway Camp 3, I'm seeing two prices right now. I'm seeing 95 and I'm seeing about 19.
95 is probably the Blu-ray then.
95 and 20 is actually Blu-rays.
Oh wow.
I think the 95 one is the I almost want to say that's got to be the Shout Factory one with that artwork.
Yeah,
I had to guess.
That's the only Blu-ray one that they released. The one that's for 20, that might just be for the slipcover.
The $20 one is the Slasher Classics Collection edition, which is basically overseas region, so you can't even play it. Yeah. So yeah, looks like you're spending $95.
Or you can just watch them for free on Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. Yeah, and Return to Sleepaway Camp is like $73 that I'm seeing. Holy crap!
I've got it. If anybody wants it, I got it in my closet.
I got it in my closet. Oh boy. So does that mean you're coming out of the closet?
It's going in the closet.
Do you make that face when you open the closet door?
That's amazing. All right. Well, yeah, I think that might be it because I'm out of things to say. But yeah, that's ridiculous, though.
It's a good movie though. 10 out of 10. Classic masterpiece. Watch it. Watch it.
And if you don't watch it, then I really hope Angela does not come busting on your door with a beehive or something.
Or a curling iron.
Or that.
Or sounding like an angry chihuahua.
I have that at the house already. That's me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She will
May.
bite everybody that
She
comes
will.
through that door.
She will. She'll try at least.
Well, I hope she doesn't bite us, but that's a whole different story, I guess. I mean, you never know. Hi, Mimi.
I don't know. I don't know. You're named Paul, so
I
She
she
just
might
don't.
starts,
go after you just
gets
based
her
on
back
that.
feet, her back little paws, and starts hissing at you. I'm gonna have to tell you to leave, Paul, run. I'll hold her back.
Run. Well, maybe it might be okay. I'll just do like what I did the first time I met, like when Merlin was still alive. I brought like a bag of treats for him, and maybe I'll just do the same thing. I'll just bring a bag of doggy treats.
Yeah,
Bring her
because
jerky, and she'll be your best friend.
I told Paul how Merlin is with guys, any guy, and how protective he is of me. And he's like, I'm gonna bring him a bag of treats.
Yeah, what do we spent like I think it was like $20 on like a big thing of treats for him. But yeah, that was a good introduction.
You just gotta bring her jerky and offer her a piece. Come into the house. Don't acknowledge me first. Acknowledge her. Offer her some jerky, and you'll be a-okay.
Well,
Oh
speaking
my
of
god, I want
jerky,
that. That's amazing.
Just in case y'all thought I was faking.
That's
Actually, a
wicked.
huge fan.
That's fucking badass.
for anybody that doesn't know what we're saying, oh my god, I want that too, and everything. Justin just showed us his nice little Sleepaway camp poster that is hanging up on his wall that Chrystello now wants.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
So, but yeah, with that being said, I would just say this. So, from what we talked about, I still think the original holds up to what it was, even after rewatching it a little bit with Tessa, because I am trying to do a lot of other projects off to the side as well, especially trying to bring back the Haunted Vermont podcast in a way too. So, I've been reaching out to different people for that, even. But I mean, from what I remember and from Tessa's reaction and stuff to watching it, it's still good. As for remaking it, it would definitely depend on a couple things. Who's in it, for one, who's gonna act as each of these characters, and two is can they make it interesting where it's not like shot for shot and still bring something new to the table as well. So that would be my thing.
Oh, Crystal.
Hmm.
Not to interrupt, but I just found a Sleepaway camp poster of Angela making the iconic face.
Where?
It's I'm gonna send you the link, but it's on Etsy. But
Put it in my bedroom.
it's legitly a freaking poster of Angela making the face with all the blood splatter and shit.
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing.
Let me see if I can share it. I want to see if I can share it. Hold on.
Am I doing it right?
There, go all the way, Paul. You gotta
gotta
whip the
hiss.
wiener out.
Yeah.
All right. So how do I share stuff with you guys in here?
So down
Share
at the
screen?
bottom, you're gonna see an icon that looks like a computer with like an arrow on the screen.
Okay.
And it's gonna say share screen.
All right.
And then you should be able to pick like what tab and stuff you'd like to share. But while we're waiting, real quick, so that's my final thought. Does anybody else want a final thought?
Can you guys see
there
it?
it is.
Crystal.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing. Oh, I want that. That looks so good. Yeah, I need that. Peyton may not approve, but I do.
Yeah, because I was looking at posters and stuff like that. And there's also one that's kind of like
Yeah, so next year will be the 35th anniversary.
Nice.
Hey.
We wish you a Merry Christmas then. Wait,
Yes,
what?
talking about the remaking the Sleepaway Camp, I don't think they would ever be able to remake Sleepaway Camp in today's climate. I don't
Yeah,
think
look
they
at
could
this
ever
one.
make that movie.
Well, there are some things in the original, like, with the dad and all that, and how.
Well, just making the killer trans, I don't think people would accept it nowadays. Having a trans killer.
That's got like a creep show vibe, but look at that one.
I mean,
Can you
no, it's still the same one.
Yeah, it's
All right,
the
hold
same
on.
one.
Like, yeah, that's a topic that I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit hole with, but I mean, I kind of wish people would be more open to like stuff like that and not take it with such negativity, because horror is not to me taken serious.
Right.
Horror is horror. So, oh my god, straight like Tale of the Crypt comic right there.
That's amazing.
Got Judy with the side pony down there.
Yep.
looking like a $2 hooker with that blue eye shut on.
Oh, baby.
Oh, one thing I do want to mention. With Judy, there was Jeff Hayes who did the Sleepaway Camp website back in the 2000s, which kind of rebrought it back to like the popularity of Sleepaway Camp and everything, and got the sequels made and the DVDs made. They actually did make a Judy short film where she survived after being attacked with the curling iron. And I cannot remember anything about it other than she survived and grew up and became. I think she's like getting chased by a killer or something in that movie too. I can't find it anywhere.
That's crazy. That's cool too, though. I like that. Oh man. Then again, I'm a sucker for Tales of the Crypt comics. But, well, guys, I think I have ran out of every little tidbit and everything I can possibly say about the first one.
No, I have.
I know Tessa has.
Yeah, I have said everything that I needed to say about that film. It's definitely memorable, and I will never forget it.
And that's what makes the movie great.
And I got a refresher today.
I'm just going to spam your film with Angela pics of her making that face.
She's gonna wake up and see a face.
I'm just gonna like spam you with Mr. Red Shorts.
I'm A-okay with it. That seems like I'm getting the better deal of this one.
I would say start spamming her with Mr. Tickles.
Oh, don't do that. Don't send me tickle pictures. Please don't.
Mr. Tickles, no!
No, Mr. Tickles. Ugh. Oh, I hate that damn game.
Yeah, and that's gonna be another episode probably down the line. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, we're gonna redo Outlast. Did we do Outlast 2 one time?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, but they're making the third one.
Oh no!
It's called Outlast: The Trials.
Oh, they've been talking about that.
It's actually more being talked about now. So there's like supposedly gameplay footage of it or whatever, but I kind of lost interest with that series.
It can't be no worse than the second one. If it is, Red Bills needs to go ahead and stop.
Well, it's supposedly co-op now.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
That is like really the only thing that I remember right now is like that it's co-op and that this is supposedly supposed to be the finale, supposedly, but I'll believe it when I see it, you know?
We'll see.
We'll see, she says. We'll see. Well, anyway, I am completely done. So it was nice talking about this interesting film that still holds up to this day, I will say. And I hope everybody else enjoyed. So thank you again, Crystal, for suggesting it for us.
Hey, you're welcome. Always like, making, requesting the ones that make you really uncomfortable. It's my cup of tea.
And if I happen to have dreams about Angela Baker, I'm calling you.
Well, prepare for hissing pictures when you wake up in the morning. Well, guys,
boy.
if there's
Angry
nothing else,
Chihuahua pictures.
just pictures of angry Meme. What are you talking about? You thinking about Angela? I'm just going to send you pictures of Meme yawning.
Well, I think that's it. Unless everybody else, like Dustin, do you have any final thing that you would like to
I
talk
love
about?
May.
No, I think we touched on everything. I always love talking about sleepaway camps to people.
Can you
and
define the way that you just said touched on everything?
touched on everything? Everything?
Tessa got it.
Oh, that one almost went right over my head.
You dirty bastard.
Oh, I can say a lot of things right now.
You naughty, naughty boy.
All right, guys. Well, I was your host, Chrystello. I'm gonna get out of this conversation because now I'm getting comfy. So when my feet start to sweat, that means that I'm getting uncomfortable.
Well, Crystal, definitely a pleasure to have you host this fantastic episode. So thank you again.
Yeah, it was definitely memorable.
Always when we get together, there's some weird shit that's me and Sarah talked about, so it's always fun.
And Dustin, it's good to have you on as well. So is it safe to say that you're part of the crew now?
Sure, yeah. Anytime you guys want to talk about shitty 80s movies. What was that?
I said as long as it's not any shitty Wendigo films, right?
Except for this shitty Wendigo movie.
Oh, Frostbiter, yeah. Oh boy. All right, well, to wrap things up, I was Paul Dulski with the lovely fiance,
Tessa Baker,
and we were joined also by the handsome cannibal kiddo himself,
Dustin Walker.
and well, we got the lovely ghoulish crypt lady of the dark underwood,
Mommy Milker Supreme.
I was just gonna say Mommy Milker Supreme.
Chrystello Bello.
Yes. So thank you guys for listening, and as always, stay scary.